Hey guys, this is Kendra Page with the Pages Media doing another UX teardown for you today. So we have been focusing the last couple of weeks specifically on tips to help your site for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And so today the purpose of this video is twofold. So we are going to look at pricing, transparency, and being transparent in the copy on your website, along with some aspects of the customer journey. So obviously the goal of an e-commerce site is ultimately to get people to make a purchase. So the idea is we want people to be able to move through that user journey pretty quickly. So if they see something they like, they want to be able to find it, add it to cart, and check out. In addition to that, utilize any other discount codes or anything of that nature. So I did a video last week about the best way to use promo codes. So I would love if you would check that out. So today we are going to look at, again, the customer journey and transparency in your copy. And so what we want for every brand is to be able to build trust with their user. And a lot of that is done through communication, just like it is in real life person-to-person relationships. So we're going to look at this website and we're going to look at a couple different things to help. So first, when we get to this site, we see right here that there are some discount options. So free shipping for $59 and over, 10% off site-wide, get an extra 15% off when you text. So if I get here and I choose, okay, I want to do 10% off because it seems like the easiest option. I don't have to text. I don't know how much I'm going to spend, but I would love to get a promo code. So we're going to look at both the customer journey of this and the transparency in the copy here. So I'm going to click on this. It's going to bring me to another page where now the messaging has kind of changed. Okay, so instead of it just being 10% off, which the way that it was worded on the landing page was just that it was 10% off. Now when I click into it, it gives me a different message, right? So I see that it's only for the first order of subscribers, and it's only for orders of $65 plus. So what we have here is a couple of different things happening. One, we have some very kind of like clickbait stuff happening. So the user is made to believe that they're going to be able to use 10% off. So as soon as they click on that to try to utilize that, they're immediately met with a message that's like, oh, hey, sorry, it is 10% off. However, it's 10% off of this dollar amount. Also, it's only 10% off if, you're like this first order of subscribers. So right there, that breaks trust with the user because what they thought that they were going to get and what ended up happening were two completely different things. So the other thing to note was that the user journey here brought me from like clicking on a promo code. So instead of it showing me a code or bringing me to a page where products were discounted, it brings me to another screen. So already I've had to take a couple of steps to do this, which isn't great. But then there's another click I have to make if I want to get the coupon. So do this, brings me to another page. So, but now it's still unclear about how to use this. So now I've had to visit 3 pages just to try to capitalize on one promo code, and the message that I'm getting in the promo code is already different than what I thought I was getting. So now I find that I have to subscribe. There isn't another way around that. So let's say at this point, if I'm still shopping on this site, I'm like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and order something. So I'll add something to bag. Doesn't really matter. We'll go ahead and do this. So what I want you to pay attention to is here. So I add this to the cart. And now what I see here is the message at the bottom is that I can get free shipping, or I can get an extra 10% off of my $65 order for my first order. So now the messaging becomes even more convoluted because before, when I thought I could utilize both of those options, now I'm seeing that I actually can only utilize one of them. So this breaks a lot of trust with your user. because this was different than what was indicated at first. So even when you look at this graphic here, it doesn't indicate that it's an either or thing, right? It seems like it's both. And when we go back to the landing page and we see it up here, I see that the order has to be at least $59, but it doesn't give any indication that I can't use both. So it's not until I've clicked through 3 screens, added something to the cart, and then looked at the slide out cart that I see, I actually can't use both of these options. I have to decide if I want to use one or the other. And at no point in the customer journey until that time is that indicated. So what this does is this breaks trust with your user. So on the off chance that somebody would continue to walk through and make this purchase, they've probably made a sale, but I would seriously doubt that they've acquired a returning customer, because what this feels like is that there's always some sort of trick, or they're always waiting for the other shoe to drop. So a lot of this is just about how you position and how you communicate with your customers. So I know a lot of brands are very insistent, especially for Black Friday, they want to push sales at all costs. But you have to consider the long-term effect of that. So when we see stuff like this, people don't trust you. They assume that there's always going to be something else that you're after, or that they're not going to get what they expected. And that is not the kind of relationship you want to establish with your users. So as a Black Friday tip, if you're doing things like this, I would recommend that you revise the copy so you're very, very clear for your customers on what they're getting. If you're going to give them 10% off, but there's a provision to that, if there is you can only get it for orders over $50, then say that very clearly right at the beginning. And from a user journey perspective, don't make them go through 3 or 4 clicks to get it. If they have to subscribe to do it, let them know that right at the beginning, instead of making them go through 3 or 4 steps just to find out that they can't use it anyway. Because the reality of it is you're very unlikely to see people complete a purchase when that is the strategy that is used. So I would encourage you before Black Friday, Cyber Monday to consider taking a look at the copy on your site and the user journey for how people purchase things and how people utilize some of those discounts, and make your store the best it can be for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. All right. Thanks, guys.